Welcome everyone. I am Mr. Goldenbaum, and this is Supremacy 1914. We are back, and as you can see here, Sweden has fallen. Now, as you can see here, we were actually able to land in the south of Sweden, secure this double wood province, which has been a huge blow to the Swedish economy and resource production. This is one of the most valuable provinces in the game, any one of these double materials. As we get into the later part of the game, double energy, I believe, is the name of the game, just due to the chronic shortages that we have in terms of our own production. Meanwhile, we're sitting on really good, hefty material productions with a surplus of just regular food production, just making sure that we do not run deficits. But with the conquest of this additional territory, we were able to bring the rest of our forces here to sack their capital in Stockholm. And with Tatiana here, we've been able to start picking off a lot of the Swedish forces that have been in the nearby area. And as soon as we sacked this city, Sweden turned into an AI. And as a result, he's sending a whole bunch of troops just all over the place from each one of these provinces, which is good for us. We'll be able to mop up all of these soldiers very quickly. Taking the defensive bonus with significantly larger army stacks, which means we're not going to be taking as many casualties as he will. And a lot of these provinces that do have, let's say, fortifications, and maybe this one isn't a good example, will have soldiers leaving the area, and we'll be able to continue to push out and clear more and more of these provinces. But with Sweden turning into an AI, we have essentially defeated the entire enemy alliance. And I'm just zooming in and out here, trying to find a good angle where you can see some of the provinces a little bit better. But if we take a look at the south, the Turks have been able to push right into Russia. The French have pushed all the way through to Germany. They're racing over here to the capital in St. Petersburg. Meanwhile, you have us completing the conquest of the British Isles. We kept this one province alive just for a little bit longer so that the forces in Germany did not disappear. Because if a nation loses all of their provinces, any of their soldiers outside of the territory, or just anywhere on the map for that matter, will just disappear. If you've seen our Algeria episode, you've seen us abuse that fact, where we were able to eliminate a massive army stack that was racing for our capital just by kind of sneaking in there and taking their last few little provinces and entirely shutting down their counteroffensive. So in this situation, we actually did the opposite. We kept that province unconquered so that the French were able to get a few additional kills with their Tatiana, especially with the player going away, but not yet being AI, kind of boosting our kills that'll count toward the bonus points that'll be allocated in the tournament, along with building production and provinces captured. I think there's this province over here and this province over here that will provide us with bonus points. But, I mean, regardless, we should be able to conquer the entire map. But with the fall of Britain, we then proceeded to sail over here to Sweden, the last remaining player in the game that has now officially turned into an AI. Meanwhile, the Moroccans as well have been able to clear out the Greeks. So just great performances across the board here. We'll continue to mop up some of the remaining provinces that we have on the map here, mostly Sweden and Denmark in the area. And I believe there might be, one more province here in the south of Greece. In terms of strategy for the tournament, any buildings count as part of our bonus points. So what we will do is invest all of our additional materials that we have on hand available into the production of recruiting offices, which that province has one. So it is not a good example. Let's see if we can find a province without, here we go. One of the cheapest buildings that we can build that would be considered a building would be the recruiting offices. So we'll certainly want to make sure we have these, even in the terrible provinces, very quick build timers, along with the workshops. Very cheap buildings. We can get them to level 2. They'll build very quickly, and we'll be able to pad some of the points that we'll have going into the next round, though I'm sure all the other teams are doing that as well. That's just the requirement to get the bonus points. From there on out, we may be building some additional barracks or fortresses, just depending on build time and our resource allocations. Unfortunately, some of these other buildings are just way too expensive and will take way too long before we reach the end of this tournament. But with that, I appreciate you all staying until the end. If you'd like the series and you'd like to see more, hey, we appreciate any likes, comments, feedback. Subscribe if you haven't already, and with that, we'll see you on the next one.